This is Star Wars in Character, the podcast that takes a closer look at some of the characters in the Star Wars universe you probably never noticed. Backstories, histories, and details you never knew, wanted to know, or ever need to know. Now here are this week's panelists of Star Wars in Character.
Hello there, and welcome to our live 50th episode of Star Wars in Character, which I can't see the other podcasters because the cameras aren't up. But I know they're there.
Okay.
Today we were talking about Owen and Beru Lars. Now, this hot couple, they're burnt. This hot couple appears in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Episode 4, A New Hope of the Star Wars saga. Now, there's a theme to these names due to the husband and wife who are no longer with us because they're cooked.
Because they're cooked.
My name is Crispy Chris. You like that one?
You're already happy with yourself.
I am.
Look at the smile on your face.
Today I am joined by Marinated Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hello. Marinated. Not quite cooked yet, but about on my way. Is that what it is?
Now, in the past, he's usually to my right. Today, he's to my left. To my left is Well Done Dave.
This is making me hungry, all this stuff. I need some barbecue.
And Toasted Tim.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that. I like that.
All right, Toasted Tim.
Yes.
Give us some facts about these well-done husband and wife couple, please.
All right. Well, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Uncle Owen, Lars, Beru, Whiteson. Now we talked a little bit about Uncle Owen in our Klieg Lars, so we're gonna skip over some of that stuff. Owen was born on the planet Ator, which, and as we said on the Klieg Lars episode, he is the son of Klieg and Ika Lars. Ika, she died while Owen was very young, while Klieg and Owen were on Ator, and they moved back to Tatooine, which is where Klieg was originally from.
Well, how did she die? That was one of my first questions. Is like, how did you talk about that on that other episode?
You know what? I think we talked about it, but I don't think there was a whole lot of information on her on that on the Wikipedia entry, and I didn't go back to research her again because I knew that really I was only going to be mentioning her name just this one time at the beginning, and I didn't decide to go back and redo her research.
He doesn't know is what he's trying to say, Dave.
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Now, Owen, as we also heard in the Klieg, he played a big role in helping to secure the release of Shmi from Watto in when she was in slavery. In slavery when she was enslaved by Watto. We went over that in the Klieg Lars episode. But Beru, we've never talked about Beru. We don't know much about her history. And basically, Beru was born on Tatooine, and she actually grew up in a moisture farming family. So moisture farming is in her blood.
I hope
two of them.
A long thing on how they met, because that to me is going to be the most interesting thing about this whole episode. I want to know how single people meet on Tatooine.
Yes,
like,
and I do need a nap, so I'd like to hear the story as well.
I got to know how they met. Like, it's like, he introduces her as his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is my girlfriend. Like, it's almost like you expect her to walk out. Like, girlfriend is such like an Earth word. Like, it's like you expect her to walk out in his Letterman sweater, like in the Thriller. Thriller, I want you to be my girl.
Where
like,
are they dating?
Like
are they going to the cantina, and then what?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, where, like, is there school? Like, I want to know everything.
No,
Moisture Farm University, like MFU. Like,
Whoa. Watch your mouth.
Like, did they meet each other at college? I gotta know, Tim.
No, they didn't meet at college or anything. It's actually not. There's not a whole lot to say. Since they're both moisture farmers, they met in Anchorhead, probably while shopping for moisture farming supplies.
Where's that at?
And that's just how they met. They had a common a common bond, being moisture farmers, and she's a good looking girl. He's a relatively handsome fella.
I like Liam's suggestion. He said they met speed dating, so it's like, here's Baru and here's a rock. Okay, those are your choices.
So no, they just met. They just both happened to be in Anchorhead at the same time. They met. There was a mutual attraction, and then they started courting. I will say though that when we first see them in episode 2, and he does say girlfriend, that word does pull me out of the Star Wars story. It's kind of, it doesn't ring well in your ear in a Star Wars.
No.
Story.
Well, at least he didn't say this is my best girl Baru or something really archaic like that. That would have been lame.
A main squeeze. Yeah, that word, it just blows. That is just like such a poor word usage in there, because I mean, it sounds to me like they don't really have a reason for them to meet other than one day they're going to adopt this pain in the ass. Like, I wanted some whole big thing. Like, I wanted some, like, courtship. Like,
I mean,
romance, Tim.
It's funny. When I think about moisture farmers, you know what I think about when in terms of courting? You guys have all seen Witness, right? The Amish.
Yeah,
right.
It kind of feels that way. It's like they probably had a very conservative way of meeting and courting. Like they would probably have family meetups. You know, the Lars and the Whitsons would get together and have dinner, and Owen and Baru would sit across the table and they wouldn't say anything. They just like look up while eating
moisture.
Moisture, yeah, the moisture, that freshly picked moisture.
Yeah, it's not. It's like an arranged marriage almost.
Yeah, it almost feels that way, but I don't think that's what it is. But I guess due to the fact that there probably aren't a whole lot of people for them to meet.
Yeah.
On Tatooine, they
like,
made the best of it.
Do they meet? Like, where does anyone meet at Tatooine? Like at the cantina? It's like Casablanca. Like, you know, it's supposed to be just like a dive. Like, why would a nice girl like Baru be at the cantina? There's got to be a good reason why they meet. Like they met at the Enchantment Under the Sand dance. But this is disappointing.
Yeah, they just met at Anchorhead, you know, just on routine trips for supplies, and they came across each other, and that was it.
All I know is I'm getting a little bit moist about this moisture farmer.
That's what somebody put on the.
Yeah, stop stealing material, Chris.
I can't read that fast. Is it up there?
Do you feel like that term moisture farming was just a euphemism for like foreplay?
I doubt it.
Oh man! Wow.
You got to get things going somehow, so you got to do some grunt work.
Here, watch.
And there's my new phone background. That still shot right there.
They were courting, obviously, while Shmi was still alive. I guess he met her after Shmi came into his life as his stepmother. So Baru did know Shmi, and Shmi actually she was very fond of Baru. So the two of them got along very well, and Baru was actually at the Lars homestead. She was visiting, and I guess visiting for a few days, which, you know, read between the lines, her and Owen.
That's right.
You know, she's hanging.
Yeah, that was kind of a question I sort of had. I didn't have it written down. Well, I don't have anything written down. But was she living there during that whole episode 2 thing?
I don't think she was officially living there, but I think I mean, I don't know how far apart their homesteads were, but it probably wasn't very close.
Yeah, there's nothing in eyesight of any shot of the Lars homestead that I ever remember.
So they probably would spend if they were going to make the trip, they were going to spend a few days, you know, just to make it worth their while. Like if it takes a day to get there, you're going to want to spend more than 3 hours before you take another day to drive back.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, she was there, and I guess when we see them in episode 2, since Shmi is gone, you know, Klieg that guy can barely boil water, and same with Owen. So she's probably helping them out in sort of a domestic level, I would think, at that point.
Right. Well, cool. Matt, are we doing trivia with the whole us against them again?
Oh, hell yeah. I got scoreboards for that. I got scoreboards for our final. I'm set.
All right. I think this is a good time to get started. What do you think?
Yes, we have to do trivia like immediately. We get a lot of
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
All
I
right.
think some of these panelists are getting a little big for their britches. That's what I think.
right.
Because we lost last time,
Yes, we did.
and I blame you.
I blame myself too.
Yeah. Well, we got to win this time, and when we're supposed to be the Star Wars hosts, we should like
yes.
beat the panelists. I don't think we have a chance, but
No.
we gotta make it sound good.
Let's do it.
All right, we gotta pick General Zach Grievous.
Yes, please. He's my buddy.
Yay.
Because he likes Chris. We don't know why.
I know.
And he is
We
like,
don't know why.
really, really excited for this. Okay, so what are we gonna say? Like, if they win, they get to pick a character again.
Sounds good.
They can pick. What do we got? We got 51 in the can. Oh, we didn't do 52 yet. We have the character pick, so they can do 53, I guess, huh?
All right.
Yeah,
You guys
that's-
win. You get to pick the character on our Facebook page, or through voting, through contacting us on email for episode 53, whatever it will be.
Whatever it be.
Okay. Zach, are you ready?
Zach, you there? Here comes your question.
All right. Whose last words were, quote, "There'll be hell to pay"? Okay? When you're ready and you've thought about it, without going online and cheating,
No cheat.
type in final answer and your answer. But here's the question again. Whose last words were, quote, "There'll be hell to pay"?
Come on, General Zach Grievous, let's go. Don't embarrass me.
Why is he embarrassing me?
Yeah. What does that have to do with you?
If you lose, you get to bend over and get your moisture farm. This was guest 714 said this.
That is very eloquent.
Isn't that a win?
Ooh.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Oh, come on!
All right, we'll take a shot.
Read it again, Dave.
I will
Read it
read it
again.
one more time. If you don't know, just guess something. Captain Kirk, write anything. Whose last words were, quote, "There will be hell to pay"?
That's about the person on the podcast. Come on, General Zach.
You're really going for it, aren't you?
You really want us to get our asses kicked. That's nice, Chris. Thanks for that.
He says Han Solo.
Question marks.
All right. Well, I guess that is
Is it just the steal?
no.
Okay.
Just get time to think about it.
I was going to say Spock, but
Spock can't.
maybe I'm wrong.
The answer is Owen Lars.
Come on! Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey, yeah, 714 got it right there. He was the first one.
All right. Well, we're going to keep picking people, so, keep on the chat room, and we'll hopefully get to every single person
Yep.
that's there. Can't
But
guarantee
right now
it.
we're at 0-0.
It's all right.
I'm saying
right.
that so I remember to score.
All right, Tim.
You may continue, Tim.
All right. Now, we've got to the point now where they're dating and they're doing all their courting and everything. But Shmi's been kidnapped, so she's here with them, hanging out.
Heard it.
And sorry, I got that weird echo in my ear.
I know the story.
So her and Owen were the first ones to see Anakin and Padme when they show up for their visit, I guess is what you would call it. It's I don't know what you would really call it. And they automatically know who they are as soon as they say it. Shmi has talked up Anakin quite a bit, so they're there.
What?
There's not a whole lot to say. I'm having a really hard time talking because my voice is right in my ear right
Tim,
after.
Tim,
Now you know
doing fine,
how
fine.
we feel when we hear your voice in our ears.
Are you there, Tim? Tim?
I'm here. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can.
Every time I hear Owen, like they talk about Uncle Owen, that also takes me out of it too. Like the friend thing takes me out of it. Luke is too much of an Earth name. Owen is too much of an Earth name for me too, and I just don't like it. Like every time I think of it or hear, I think about throw mom from the train.
What?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Going, Anakin! That's all I ever think about. It's too much of an Earth name. But he's like, I love it when he meets Anakin.
Yes.
He's so kind of nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
Like he's meeting this guy that's going to be his. What are they, stepbrothers, right?
They're stepbrothers, I guess.
They're Will Ferrell and another guy.
Did we just become best friends? But they meet him, and he must have heard about this guy. Like he's like this force-sensitive guy. He's powerful, and he kind of just like nonchalant him. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. Like I mean, I would have been shitting bricks.
I was upset when they first introduced him. Like Lars, he don't stand up.
That's a
really
callback.
big.
You're back up.
Yeah.
But he's like this guy that's supposed to be all powerful, and he's chosen. I mean, it's like meeting your brother, and he turns out he's Jesus. Like, how do you look to that? I feel
No.
bad going.
That's a good question.
Yeah, they're immediately just sort of just there, and they sort of bring him in, and there's no issue. Guys, I hate to say I cannot hear myself think. I'm speaking in my ear, and everybody's echoing like ridiculous amount.
You have to persevere.
Yeah, all right.
Children.
Well,
thing.
I mean, we get to this point. It's the Clone Wars. So, you know, we see all the stuff that happens in Episode 2. Anakin and they for some reason they steal back C-3PO. I don't know if C-3PO was how important he was to the Lars homestead at that point, but they steal C-3PO. They just leave. They don't even tell him they're taking him. They just fly off.
Yeah, that's. I never really thought of that.
But yeah, and then shortly after that, the two of them were married. They were married, and Klieg eventually passes away. I think as a result of his injuries, if I remember correctly, from it was from the Tusken Raider attack. But then at the pretty much they live a really rather standard Tatooine existence during this time before Luke comes along. You know, just running their moisture farm. But we do see them again at the end of Episode 3, where Obi-Wan brings young Luke Skywalker, young baby Luke, to them, and Beru is happy to take Luke. She's all about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, baby," but Owen was not too happy to have Luke come along. And you can actually sort of see that in the film where he has his back turned to Kenobi.
Okay.
And they have that long dialogue scene. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't talk at all.
Where Kenobi just walks up, hands the baby, and then walks away. And I think it's as he's walking away is when Owen finally turns around.
Yeah.
So.
Although I do like how Episode 3, like that's how it ends. That's the last scene you see is Owen and Beru and the two sons, and then A New Hope starts, and that's like it almost just connects it all by that one little scene. That's my
Owen is before he turns around, he's almost using the same stance that Luke is standing in when we first see him in Star Wars.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. It's a nice mirroring, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were wondering how that was going to end, and I don't know whether you like Episode 3 or not. That was kind of a cool way to just kind of wrap it up. It was kind of almost sweet in a way.
Mm-hmm. It was. It's touching.
Especially when I was sitting next to
I had a little... and there was touching.
Touching.
All right, let's do another trivia question.
Trivia question, yes.
Chris, are you going to pick somebody?
I am going to pick the Canadian guy.
Canadian guy. Very nice. All right. This is for all of Canada. Here we go. Your question is this. These are all from the original trilogy. Where was Ben Kenobi's? What were Ben Kenobi's first 2 words in Star Wars?
Isn't that the Great Dragon, y'all?
What were Ben Kenobi's first 2 words in Star Wars?
Ben Gay. Oh, easy. Come on, Canadian guy. Ooh, he answered.
His answer is hello there. Is that your final answer? The Canadian guy.
Oh, he said yes.
That is absolutely correct.
Yay!
Congratulations. You have made the Great White North a proud place. Now, we also have to ask each other questions.
Guys, wait a minute now. How did they're a point ahead, but we've had no questions.
That's right. I'm going to give us 2 in a row. How about
All right, then.
That's right.
All right. We'll start with. We'll start in the order. How about this of our rankings in the current trivia?
Okay.
Which would mean Matt is first. Are you ready for this, Matt?
Sorry, yeah, I'm trying to work out our technical issues, but go ahead.
All right. Well, are you ready for your questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
This can wait.
The question is this. What vector did Darth Vader's TIE fighter take when approaching Luke's X-Wing fighter in the Death Star trench?
Oh, thank God that one's yours, man.
The hell does that even mean? Straight. I don't know.
What's your answer?
Straight. I have no clue what that could possibly mean.
The answer is 3 or 0.3.
Are you kidding me?
You know what's weird is that when I drive straight, I usually drive 0.3.
You do?
That's seriously the answer?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, because we need to catch up with another question, that means Tim, are you ready?
Yeah. This is a question for me? Yeah.
This is a question for you. What planet did the Rebel fleet gather at prior to the second Death Star battle?
Oh, man. And they do say this, but geez, I don't know. I want to say Sullust. I'm wrong, but I think I want to say Sullust.
Is that your answer?
That is my answer.
Sullust is correct.
Oh!
Hey!
Nice one.
Suck it, chat room.
Oh, man.
Face! Yeah!
And we didn't get it right. We just
Yeah! Way to go, them!
All right, so it's 1-1. Very good.
Yeah.
Somebody's being a nice sport and wrote, "Yay, Tim!" and you're going, "Suck it."
Get 7 before. Suck your own.
And I said,
That's
right.
funny.
Oh. All right, back to Owen and Baru.
All right. So at this time, Owen and Beru, they essentially become Luke's parents. They had the opportunity, they can do anything they want. This is their kid. They're out in the middle of nowhere. They could pretend that she gave birth to this kid, but they decided not to change his name.
Yeah.
And they decided to call him a nephew. But they decided to keep his name as Skywalker, basically in honor of Shmi. So it wasn't in honor of Anakin, more so in honor of his Luke's grandmother Shmi.
All right, that's kind of nice, but it's still stupid.
Yeah, that's not very good at hiding him, and I'm assuming, well, maybe not. I would assume Obi-Wan, explained the situation before he let the kid out of his possession.
He didn't look like he had too much to say. It was just, like, get this kid away from me.
Here,
And
take it.
The question is, how much did he explain about Anakin at this time when he brings Luke to Tatooine? He doesn't. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows that Anakin is going to turn into Vader in terms of the costumed Vader. I don't know if he relay the name Darth Vader to Owen. Did he say that Anakin died?
Yeah, there's that scene, Tim, in A New Hope where Beru's like, you know, there's some father in him, and he said, that's what I'm afraid of. Is that a little bit of a
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. Did Obi-Wan tell him that Anakin went evil?
Right.
Okay.
So that I don't know. I'm curious how much story he told him. Like, did he tell him everything?
He had to tell him. He had to tell him. Well, I mean, I think he'd tell him something, or else wouldn't there be like a lot of questions they'd have? Like, why are you giving us this baby? Would be the first question.
Yeah.
I mean, Obi-Wan could just say Anakin died. You know, we have Anakin and Padme died. They're his parents. He has nowhere else to go.
In a way, Anakin did die, though. In a way.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah. I mean,
from a certain point of view, correct. You're right.
Yeah, all right. No.
He did die.
Yes, okay. Fine.
But at this point, Obi-Wan is probably under the impression that he is dead as a doornail. Like, he burned up and died. I'd be curious to know when exactly he finds out that Darth Vader still exists and is walking around the galaxy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm surprised there's not like comics or some kind of whole backstory with Obi-Wan coming to check on them from time to time. You know, other than what you see in the movie, which is nothing. It's you know, what do they call it when you leave a baby on a doorstep and just hit the road? That's basically all he's doing.
It's like in Three Stooges, the new Three Stooges movie.
So I'm surprised there isn't like a whole big thing on there about him in contact with them.
I think some of that there have been stories that have been written about that time period, but with all the things that have happened with the prequels coming out, I think a lot of these were written prior to at least episode 2 and 3 coming out. I think a lot of them were written prior, probably to even episode 1 of how this all went down. So I think that there's some inconsistencies now in the EU of how this actually and how much was actually told.
Right.
But during this time, Kenobi does keep track of Luke. I mean, he is there on Tatooine. I don't know how far away
where's he
his
living
house
at?
is.
Yeah, like is he living like in a hut in a hole? Like where's he at for the past?
Well, he has that like igloo that you see. That you see Luke's speeder outside of for a period right there, right before they go into the interior of his little house. It's like a little igloo.
Yeah,
that it lives at. But I don't know how far away from Luke's house that is. It's probably a distance because it's up on a cliff, and the Lars homestead that's a pretty flat area. There's not a whole lot of variation in terms of the earth in that area.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for everybody, even the chat room. And that dome on top of Attack of the Clones, when Padme comes out and sees Anakin carrying, you know, is in the corner, boo-hoo, my mom. Is there like a big underneath like room or housing underneath that little tiny dome? Like that thing is so tiny.
Are you thinking the house is like subterranean?
Yeah. Like if you walk in the thing and go down, is it like a huge like building or underneath the ground or something?
Well, you see that area, like that courtyard, that drops down about 30 feet, and there's all those little branches off of it, off little hallways. So I think that igloo may just be the entrance into that. I'll call it a complex.
Okay.
A domestic complex. That's what I
just kind of thought too.
Maybe that's where they that's where they hang their coat, and then they go into the main house.
Yeah, I figured it was underground too. That would make sense to get it out of that blazing eternal sun.
Yeah. It's kind of a nice, actually, for being in the middle of nothing, it's kind of a nice spread. You know,
it is.
Like they seem like they kind of have some money, although they don't do any redecorating from, you know, the time in episode 2 to the time in episode 4. You know, they even have like that stupid tiger print ceiling in that one room where they're having the blue milk and stuff.
That Darth Maul paint on the ceiling.
Yeah, like they didn't do a whole lot of decorating in that sucker, but it's you can tell they're kind of
who are they going to decorate for? It's like no one comes by. It's not like they're entertaining anybody.
The Jawas come every once in a while.
Well, they have friends, and I found this out while doing the research, and we're jumping ahead a little bit here when I tell this story. But on the day that that the stormtroopers came and they were killed, they were actually getting ready to go to a wedding.
What?
I heard that. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't research who they were going to get the wedding with because it really doesn't matter. I just thought that was kind of a little interesting tidbit is that they were getting prepared to go to a wedding, and I wonder if Luke was supposed to go with them.
Huh.
To this wedding.
Now he was all sad because he was going to go to the Tashi station.
Yeah, they don't mention that there was a wedding coming up that next day when they're arguing over him going to the academy this year. You know, there's no mention of this wedding that they have to go to the next day.
Right.
I've done a lot to get out of weddings, but I've never set up my aunt and uncle to get killed and barbecued. But that's pretty extreme.
Well, just know that option's always there.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see it
There's still
works.
time.
It works pretty effectively too.
Yeah.
Yeah.